Welcome to my channel. I'm glad you decided to join me today. I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. I'm Dr. T. I'm a board certified internist, cardiologist. I'm also board certified in clinical electrophysiology and lifestyle medicine. Today we're going to review the last videos and summarize them, the key concepts, and we're going to look a little bit deeper into the low-carb diets and the keto diet in particular, and we're going to look at the types of fats, and we'll end up with the quiz section. On the first video, we compared the US to the other developed countries in terms of life expectancy at birth, life expectancy at age 65. We also looked at prevalence of diabetes and obesity, and we saw that regrettably we are spending twice as much as the other developed countries and not getting the results they are getting. On the second video, we look at what was killing us, and in fact was chronic diseases and the heart disease, strokes, cancer, and last year in 2020 the COVID-19 took the third place. And we talked about the good news is that if we practice lifestyle medicine, we could actually add significantly years to our lives and life to our years. On the last video, we looked at again the keto diet and its safety, and today we're going to look a little bit deeper into the low-carb diets. And here's again Dr. Robert Atkins, who published in 1972 the book called Atkins Diet, Dr. Atkins Diet Revolution, and became very, very popular, actually the most popular diet ever. And we looked at what is the ketogenic diet, and essentially is a diet that has very low carbs, 5% of carbs, 75–80% of fats. And we looked at the effect of the keto diet on the weight loss and other parameters, muscle mass, and the blood sugars, and cancer and mortality. Today we're going to dive a little bit more into a ketogenic diet and what happens if you had a heart attack and you engage in a low-carb diet. And the results are actually not encouraging at all, because your total mortality increased by 33%, your cardiovascular mortality increased by 51%, not what you want to see. And let's look at red meats. The red meat, unfortunately, is associated with an increased risk of total mortality, cancer mortality, and cardiovascular mortality as well. And again, this is a good friend, Mr. William Banting, who published a letter on corpulence in 1863. He was undertaker in London. He was very obese and was having a lot of trouble. We saw a physician called Dr. Harvey, who had returned from Paris from a conference on diabetes, and he recommended a low-carb diet. It was successful for him in terms of weight loss. And here is our contemporary cousin from Mr. Banting, except we're not talking about in 1800s, we're talking about 2021. Let's look at the type of fats. And here we have an example of saturated fats, where essentially are a bunch of carbon atoms together with a hydrogen molecule on each side of the carbon atom. We have monounsaturated fats. They have double bond between two carbons, and we have the trans fats, where again there is a double bond, but the hydrogen atoms are in the trans position, one on each side. Here's again the types of fats, and look at the saturated fats are essentially mainly due to coming from animal products, beef, butter. There are two exceptions. Plants do have a significant amount of saturated fats, coconut oil and palm oil, but all the other saturated fats come from animal products. If you look at the trans fats, they're very prevalent margarines, and they were really pretty bad. So they were actually banned in the United States in 2015. At least the artificially trans fats that are also on the labels are come under the title of hydrogenated or partial hydrogenated fats. But there are trans fats again in animal products that we still need to avoid. And animals who they are ruminants, they produce trans fats in the stomach. Bacteria turns grass into trans fats. Again, this is so important. I want to re-emphasize this issue. And we look at the fats. You have the good, the bad, and the ugly. And again, the ugly are the trans fats. The bad are the saturated fats. You need to limit the amount. And the good ones are the monounsaturated or polyunsaturated, the olive oil, the corn oil, and so on. And why are meats so bad, especially the processed meats? This is not. This needs to be avoided, because they are actually a type 1 carcinogen. And there is a debate not long ago that led to even the American Heart Association to put a presidential advisory on saturated fats. There is a movement that says, well, saturated fats are really not as bad, and butter is back. And again, the American Heart Association decided to put this advisory. So in summary, what happens is the keto diets, the low-carb diets, they're very effective in weight loss, but they are not good for your health. They increase your cardiovascular and your total mortality, not exactly what you want. And the bottom line is we need to talk about what we call the hard endpoints. So in the past, we thought that if you have a medication that lowers your blood sugar, will be good for diabetes. You know, if you had a medication that was good for your blood pressure, lower your blood pressure, should be good for you. The same for the cholesterol. The reality is a little bit more complicated, and here's the secret I promised at the beginning of this video. You need to understand this. So you don't want just a medication that lowers your blood sugar for diabetes. You need a medication that lowers your blood sugar, but decreases the hard endpoints, decreases the heart attacks, the strokes, the peripheral vascular disease, decreases blindness, decreases kidney disease and need for dialysis. That is the hard end point. The same thing for medications for high blood pressure, antihypertensives. You don't just want a medication that lowers your blood pressure. You want a medication that lowers your blood pressure, but also decreases the amount of the incidence of the strokes or heart attacks and so on. And the same thing for the cholesterol. It's not enough to take a medication that lowers your bad cholesterol, the HDL, the LDL, the low density lipoprotein, or increases the so-called good cholesterol, the HDL. You want a medication that does that, but decreases the incidence of heart attacks, strokes, peripheral vascular disease. And that's the same thing and the same issue that happens with keto diets. It's very misleading because they you see the weight loss and you think, well, this is really good. But we don't want just lose weight. You want to have a healthier life and live longer and not shorten your life. And I'm glad to see this slide was taken from the VA US, the Veterans Administration website, and they're actually promoting a plant-based food diet where you have on the base all vegetables, all the beans, all the fruits, all the whole grains, the nuts and seeds, and you need to avoid the sugar-sweetened beverages and the white breads, white rice and white pasta, and replace them with whole grains, breads, whole pasta, and brown rice. Here's another food pyramid, a plant-based diet, and again the same thing, the fruits and vegetables, the beans, the peas, the lentils, and you have on the left side, in terms of drinks, water is your best drink you can have. Coffee and tea are fine as long as you don't add sugars, you don't add cream. And let's look at this point at the quiz from the last video. And true or false, ketogenic diets are effective for short-term weight loss? Yes, that's a fact. They are associated with increased muscle mass. No, they are not. This is wrong. They decrease actually muscle mass. They're associated with increased mortality. It's true. They're associated with increased cardiovascular mortality. It's also true. They are not safe for your health, period. And unless there are very special circumstances like refractory seizures in children that didn't respond to anything else, we really should not be on a ketogenic or a low-carb diet. For the next video, there is another quiz, and the true or false, the fact that keto diet avoids bad carbs and sugar-sweetened beverage is a step in the right direction. Keto diets are effective in short-term weight loss, and keto diets increases mortality and should be avoided. And remember, your health is too important to be delegated to others. Let's take control. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and write a comment or ask questions. We're trying to make these videos interactive as possible. And if you haven't seen previous videos, take a look, so I will give you a good foundation to understand what's going on in your health and help you take control. See you next video.